Hello everyone, I'm Evelyn Chang from Group 5. Today, our group is going to present about stewardship theory and corporate governance. First of all, in stewardship theory, individuals are achievement-oriented when the firm's interests align with theirs. They are more collectively minded and pro-organizational than individualism. This theory assumes individuals are better to operate collaboratively and not wholly motivated by money. They may be motivated by intrinsic values such as work satisfaction, loyalty, and fairness. Next, argument of stewardship theory. The strong presence of non-financial motivators let the manager's self-esteem merge with the corporate prestige and causes induced compliance without their personal gain. Also, the structures are crucial to provide a true role and accordant role expectations. A clear corporate leadership can enhance the company performance. An individual can be considered to be a steward or an agent based on different perspectives when the goals are not limited to performance maximization. There is a question whether stewardship theory is relevant to understand the relationship between goals and performance in family firms, and the last argument is the declination of direct or indirect control causing discrepancy. Next, the first advantage of this theory is minimization of controlling and monitoring costs. This is due to the separation of ownership and control incurs costs, and this theory eliminates the cost by adapting practice of CEO duality. Therefore, the firm will gain unity of direction like good command and control. Besides that, stewardship theory emphasizes the importance of positive work relationships. The interests of managers and shareholders are aligned, so the managers will prioritize the interests of shareholders before using the company's resources for their own advantage. Next, capability of decision making and autonomy power of managers will enhance. This is because a clear communication and independence given will increase the speed of making decisions. And the last advantage is the support for managers to learn and develop. This can lead to their job satisfaction and a higher level of confidence and increase company profit and efficiency in the long term. On the other hand, the disadvantage of stewardship theory is managers may exploit their position to make decisions. A bad steward will maximize their own economic utility instead of interest of shareholders. Next, the misalignment within the company will happen when management act as stewards but the board treat them as agents. The trust between two parties will be compromised and reduce company's performance. This will also affect satisfaction of shareholders toward company. The last disadvantage of this theory will be no control to maintain pro-organizational behavior. When bad stewards are no longer accountable and amass too much power to be challenged, the presence of internal control is needed. The company has to manage and ensure the influence of managers in achieving organizational goals and hence organizational performance. That's all from me. I will pass the floor to Winnie, who will talk about the first journal article of this theory.
Thank you, Evelyn. My name is Winnie Wong and I would like to talk about the journal article. The title of the journal article is The Effect of Family Ownership on Profit and Performance Company Management based on the theory of stewardship. Most companies in Indonesia are run by family and the control lies in the hands of the founding family. This journal is to find out if there is a relationship between family-concentrated company and the quality of earnings. This article also considers whether the family ownership has a positive impact on the performance and value of a company. Some aspects such as the board of directors, cost monitoring, and company characteristics are based on the stewardship theory. The study expects family business in Indonesia do not perform earnings management opportunistically. The problem statement is to fill the gap on the lack of consistent research about the family influence on profits and performance of the firm, especially in the context of Indonesia economy. There are 6 objectives in this study. The first is to evaluate the relationship between efficient profit management and opportunistic earnings management. The second is to assess the relationship between family-concentrated company and earnings quality. The third is to identify the concentration of a company and its correlation to corporate performance. The fourth is to analyze the link between the family-concentrated company and the board of directors. The fifth is to determine the relationship between company concentrated on family and cost monitoring. Lastly, it is to determine the effect of concentration of the family on the company and its characteristics. For the findings, testing done using descriptive and inferential statistic analysis methods, there are 4 variables which are family ownership, firm size, firm age, and ROA. Family ownership negatively affects the efficient management earnings with alpha 0.0002. Thus, large family ownership can demote earnings quality. Company size influence in net accruals with alpha 0.000, proving small company will arise a greater in net accrual. Firm age with alpha 0.0000 and ROA with alpha 0.0180 displays that the longer the company was established, the greater in net accrual occurs. Besides, family ownership has a positive impact on ROA fund performance at the level of 0.0489, supports the alignment effect. Involvement of members in the company management has a positive impact on the fund performance with 0.0051, so manager can unify interest between various stakeholders. Family monetary level does not impact the company performance and value due to the use of dummy variables. That level does not affect the company performance by negative impact on the value of fund with 0.0843, implying family business has a low leverage ratio and high company value. Company size has a positive impact on the company performance with 0.0002 and values with 0.0352, indicating smaller firms are harder to receive good investments. Fund age effect positively on the company performance with 0.020 and value with 0.0352. The longer the firm exists, the better the company performance. Growth of assets invests positively on company performance with 0.0037 and value with 0.0153. So performance and value of the company will be enhanced by the firm's growth. In conclusion, the study supported the agreement of the alignment influence. Managers do not behave opportunistically due to the absence of discretionary accruals. The firm performance can be improved by family ownership positive effect. The company characteristics include leverage, size, and age of the company can influence the company performance and value. The study suggested that the study in the future should include more information about the culture of family-owned companies or the shareholder protection index. Moreover, future research could be related to good corporate governance, which leads to positive performance and a sustainable company.
Thank you, Winnie. Hi everyone, my name is Jing Yee and I would like to continue the following of the presentation. There are several implications in this study, such as methodological implication, theoretical implication, and implication for policy and practice. First, the research contributes to the methodology by providing data on INET and discretionary accrual measurement that are applied in the research of earning management. Several INET factors that influence the accrual quality are firm size, sales, operating cash flow, and etc. INET accrual are unintended error caused by environmental failure and uncertainty, while intentional estimation error are caused by management incentive to control revenue. Next, the finding of this study provide a contribution to earning quality for theoretical implication. The quality of accrual can be affected by economic fundamental, which are INET accrual compared to discretionary accrual caused by the company operating environment. The research supported the assumption of alignment effect, showing that family-owned companies are not restricted by opportunities behavior in the earning quality. Thus, the opportunities earning management practiced by family companies help to maintain the company reputation in the long term. Arguments for the alignment effect are aligned with the view that a family-owned business offers management with incentives to avoid appropriating the wealth of external shareholders who are not from the family. Moreover, the stewardship theory also supported the essential argument that the interests of management and owner or majority and minority shareholder are aligned. In the policy implication, the study contributes to the government regarding the concentration of ownership will lessen the conflict between management and some parties. The alignment of interest between management and various relevant parties can be achieved by the concentrated ownership with family dominate over high cash flow. The alignment of interests with several parties lead them to higher quality profit and greater corporate performance. The government also plays a critical role in ensuring economic stability and positive economic conditions, which may result in reported earnings. The government should keep providing legal protection and effective law enforcement to those investors to establish advantage conditions for them. In order to maintain their alignment of interests, the government must constantly monitor the company based on family dominance. Next, I would like to introduce the second journal article which titled Corporate Governance and Firm Financial Performance in the United Kingdom. Corporate governance is related to methods that are taken by those interested in the company to actively defend the interests of stakeholders. The importance of the corporate governance becomes more prominent as the corporate world is expanding and developing. This can be seen when the common cause of corporate scandal is attributed to poor corporate governance. In the past, there have been numerous studies that look into the relationship between corporate governance and financial performance. The majority of these research studies indicate that excellent corporate governance improves a company's financial performance. The problem statement of this journal articles is whether corporate governance will affect the financial performance of businesses, particularly in the United Kingdom economy. Mechanisms used in this study such as insider shareholders, board size, board independence, and etc. Next, the objective of this journal articles is to look at the influence of excellent corporate governance on the financial performance of non-financial listed companies in the United Kingdom. There are some independence variables that are used in this study, which are insider shareholder, board size, board independence, duality, and audit committee meeting. While the dependence variables include return on asset and Tobin Q. The return of asset indicate how effectively financial profit are used to create profit, while Tobin Q is a percentage of the fair value of a firm's share outstanding and liability multiplied by the purchase price of its asset. Now, I would like to pass the floor to Eddy to continue the following presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Jing Yee, and I'm Eddy Jong. I'm going to present the next part on Journal 2. For the finding of Journal 2, statistical significance and Tobin Q are used to determine whether the hypotheses met are acceptable. The statistic evidence for audit committee meeting held by the UK Corporation revealed a minimal SD of 1.8 and average of 4.5, resulting in a low coefficient of determinant of 40%. The remaining variable distribution have a positive skewness, while ROA equal to 1.92 and IB equal to negative 0.49, show that only negative skewness apart from CD 59.21 and LG equal to 44.92, which have large tail or outlier in the given data. The remaining variables have light tail. These characteristics suggest an interesting random selection. A relationship of more than 0.8 indicate that the sample population may be multicollinear, and the correlation between RA and corporate governance mechanism show that co-integration is rarely an issue. Apart from that, the correlation between Tombin skill and corporate governance mechanism indicate that co-integration is rarely an issue because none of the variables have a correlation greater than 0.80 at 0. In addition, only IS and CD exhibit a positive association with Tombin skill, indicating there is a statistical significance of independence on the RA. The multivariate regression result on RA show that the effect of factor on financial success are mixed. Furthermore, p-value for IS, IB, AC, LG, and CD are also high, indicating that these factors have low predictive power on Tombin skill. This proven these factors are statistically irrelevant and therefore have no predictive ability for RA. On the other hand, BS and FS are statistically meaningful and have predictive power on Tombin skill because their p-value are close to 0. Finally, RON and Tombin skill show predictive potential on several corporate governance measures such as board size and independent board member. For the conclusion, this journal article is emphasized the impact of good corporate governance on financial performance of the firm. Therefore, good corporate governance will significantly lead to superior firm performance. The study also proven that some mechanisms such as a large board size will also have an effect on firm's performance. The study therefore concluded that the firm in the UK are able to strengthen their financial market performance through adoption of the correct corporate governance practice, and one of the practices is having an independent board of directors. For the recommendation, it is highly encouraged that 2 people for the position of CEO and chairperson so that there is no conflict of interest which will impact on the firm performance. In addition, it is best to empower the role holder and trust they have the best intention in order to promote motivation. Apart from the shareholder wealth, the management should also make sure the shareholders are well treated, the firm is properly run, and the organization is thriving and successfully by having a clear mission. Last but not least, it is also recommended to use more variables in the research to allow more comprehensive and better framework. Last, for the contribution of Journal 2, it is proven existence of a strong relationship between corporate governance mechanism and the success of the firm. Therefore, echo the sentiment of stewards' responsibility to protect and maximize shareholder wealth by adopting sound practice. At the same time, it showcases the focus of stewardship theory is on structure that facilitate and empower rather than monitor and control. There are much more trust in this view, and therefore the theory takes a more relaxed view of the separation of the role and CEO and chairman. Furthermore, CEO duality in stewardship theory shows no effect on the RA and Tombin skill, and regardless of whether the CEO or chairman role are merged or not, the financial performance outcome remain constant. Next, this study also contributes to the view that corporate governance practices that affect the firm performance depend on the measurement used in the research, as there has been mix of results from the past research, and this journal also raised an issue regarding this concern. Therefore, there is no accurate answer to which mechanism will surely improve financial performance of a firm, as all the results correlate with some previous research paper. Each mechanism varies from company, therefore as a CEO or chairman, one must determine which corporate governance practice is suitable to adopt into the business. That's all from me. Next, I would like to pass this presentation to Liew Pei Wen.
Thank you, Eddy. My name is Liew Pei Wen with my matrix number 70188. Now it's my turn to present about the journal article 3 with title of The Influence of the Chairman and CEO Effectiveness on Operating Performance Evident from Malaysia. This journal article is to investigate the relationship between the chairman's characteristic and the firm's operating performance. Based on a total sample of 267 observations, the author used ordinary least squares regression to investigate the hypothesis established for the top 89 non-financial firms based on the Malaysian main market during 2007 to 2019. Corporate governance has been determined to be crucial for ensuring solid operational performance, which is as exemplified by a good management team. Good governance example include gender diversity, which boosts the board's monitoring function and improve the quality of financial reporting. Corporate government led by the chairman and followed by the chief executive officer (CEO) is essential for attaining excellent operational performance and ensuring the trust of stakeholders. The following are the consequences of this journal article. First and foremost, the chairman's role is critical in achieving positive operating results. A good leader will strive to protect the interests of shareholders and other stakeholders. Second, the CEO's effort to promote effective and efficient business operations have a favorable influence of the company's operational and financial results. The chairman's delegation of power to the CEO encourages the CEO to assist the chairman in operating of the company. According to stewardship theory, the chairman will always do his or her best to their stakeholders. As the chairman and business performance may decline, perhaps resulting in less productive cost structure, there is a negative link between age and company performance. Hence, the chairman's age has no effect on the business success. Next, the problem statement of this journal article is how the chairman characteristics affect the firm's operating performance and whether the effectiveness of Chief Executive Officer (CEO) strengthens or weakens this relationship. The objective of this journal article is to examine the chairman's involvement in operational performance, and the second objective is to examine the CEO's efficiency as a moderator of this connection. Next, the third objective of this journal article is to explore whether the chairman is personally engaged in the firm's operation activities or distributes authority to the CEO for operational and short-term financial problems. There are three analyses used in this journal article. The first one is descriptive analysis. Based on this analysis, the sample company's chairman have an average tenure of 9.877 years, showing that the companies want to hire them for longer period of time. The average natural log of age for board chairman data is 4.214, and the book of the chairmen are in the 60+ year age bracket, which the means is 68 years old. Second, from statistics of the moderating variables, the average CEO age is 46.363 years old, while the average tenure is 9.745. The means for the natural log of total asset is 15.731%, and the average asset tangibility is 0.647, and the higher mean financial leverage is 26.121%. The association between the chairman factor and the company operation performance was then investigated using correlation analysis in this journal. The result of multi-collinearity between the explanatory factors were further examined using the analysis of various VIF values vary from 1.06 to 1.04, all of which are less than 10. As a consequence, the issue is not present in these findings. Last but not least, results of analysis support the chairman age has a significant positive association with operating performance profit at 5% in Model 1. But a positive insignificant relationship with OPL in Model 2. Also, there is a negative insignificant relationship between operating performance and chairman title. In Model 3, CEO EFF has a positive but minor moderating influence on the relationship with OPP, but a negative effect in Model 4 on the association with OPL. Lower leverage firms have better operating performance, and audit firm has a negatively significant relationship with profitability operating performance at 1% and a positively significant relationship with liquidity operating performance. On the other hand, this result of analysis enhance the negative link between CTI and OPL in Model 4. That's all from me, and now I will pass our presentation to Aina Sophea.
Thank you, Pei Wen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Dr. Sharifah. I am Aina Sophea with matrix number 68969. And I shall continue the presentation with the conclusion for our third journal article. This journal studies the effect of chairman on operating performance with the assistance of CEO effectiveness. The theory hypothesized that the chairman and CEO will handle the business efficiently and effectively. The empirical study discovered that some criteria of a chairman have a significant effect on the business performance, and this showcases the strong need for chairman's stewardship when discharging duties. The study also reveals that effectiveness of CEO correlates with some aspect of the chairman's characteristic, such as the title, the period of tenure, and ownership. So all in all, the effective stewardship can only be achieved when the chairman empowers the CEO to gain control over optimization of company resources. Now, some of the recommendations from this study includes the research should consider all listed companies in the country instead of focusing on the top listed one. For instance, financial firms and the unit trust companies are not chosen in the research due to different regulatory requirements. The limitation means that study outcome could not be used to generalize the population. By using all listed companies, this will help research to reach better audience and improve its relevance. Another recommendation for the study is to expand the research to other business environments, where we include other developing countries into the analysis. Other countries represent a variant in business settings and background. Hence, we are able to develop more comprehensive data. We will also be able to gain a more accurate conclusion of the study. The next recommendation is to utilize other corporate governance characteristics to measure the variables. For example, audit committee can be used as moderator instead of CEO effectiveness. Moving on, the first contribution of this study is that this research proposes that under the management of CEO, the person who is responsible for optimizing the operating performance would be the chairman. Next, CEOs who have served the company for a long period of time and have more seniority in age are able to manage the business operation well when they are supported by the leadership of the chairman. The study findings showcase the need for CEO's non-duality. By separating the role of CEO and chairman, the outcome proven that stewardship is able to be neutral. Other than that, the results contribute to the statistical fact that operating performance of a company can be improved when we consider the age, ownership, and short tenure as chairman. The effectiveness of CEO correlates to the support given by the chairman, and most importantly, the research proven that joint administration supports the stewardship theory assumption of collectivism and best performance. Considering all the facts where we dive into stewardship theory and corporate governance, we can conclude that stewardship theories plays a crucial role by stating that people who hold ownership in a firm is merely hold it in trust, not owning the firm. The theory further describes the behaviors of managers and the role of board of directors in relation to the management of a company. From the third journal, we can see that the relationship between the managerial team and board of directors depends on trust. The best corporate governance practice mentioned was the collaborative effort between the CEO and the chairman, as well as the need for chairman to support CEO in order to gain CEO effectiveness. Other than that, mutual interest is a large concept of stewardship theory. In this concept, the motivators of those in power are non-financial, since they are pro-organizational. From the first journal that relates to this topic, the findings indicate that the family firms in the study do not carry out profit management. Hence, their quality of earnings are high. One of the elements of corporate governance is the board of directors. Board of directors should consist of independent directors in order to have an effective corporate governance. However, stewardship theory argues that non-independent directors have more knowledge regarding the entity they govern, and the second journal we found supports this sentiment. Overall, stewardship theory is a part of corporate governance, and both of them coexist. That is all from our group. Thank you for listening.